Okay, when I talk about this subject in a psychology workshop, and I give an example of that I got from a book called The Winner's Bible, and we talk about sport and we talk about trading in similar terms, and we talk about sometimes that ability to understand yourself and fit your personality to your trading, but also to be able to pause yourself and to be able to reflect and listen. And there's a great analogy from boxing, which I bring into my workshops, where I talk about the rumble in the jungle, Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman. And we all know the history of that. Muhammad Ali defeated George Foreman. But going into that fight, Ali was a massive underdog. He was, Foreman was, I think he was something like 46 fights, 46 wins. I think only one of them had gone beyond 5 rounds. The two people that up to that point had beaten Ali, Foreman had put them both down within 2 rounds. And Ali was, Foreman at its peak, I think he was 26 years of age. Ali was already into his mid-30s. And people said he didn't have a chance. And, Foreman had a punch which was, no one thought you could stand up to it. Ali was more about speed and stamina. He had a good punch, but it wasn't the hardest punch in boxing. You just didn't see it coming. And there was a lot of hype around that fight. You remember it. I don't know if you remember it. I don't know if you're as old as me.
I watched it.
You watched it, okay.
Not at the time, but afterwards.
Yeah, of course you did. It was a great, I remember it as probably one of the sporting occasions of my life. I'm old enough to remember it at the time. In the build-up to that fight, there's a story that goes, Ali was training. They used to bring sparring partners over from America for both Foreman and Ali to train with in Zaire. And they would ask the sparring partner at the end of Ali's training session, they would ask him, what do you think of Ali's chances? And normally the sparring partner would go, yeah, he's going to be all right, he's going to win, and they didn't want to ruin his mojo or anything. But one sparring partner turned round at the end of the session and said, well, I'm afraid you haven't got a chance. Foreman's going to kill you. And of course his managers and that said, get this guy out of here. He said, he's bad for Ali's confidence. He said, put him on the plane back to America. We can't have this guy. And Ali went, no, I want to stop. I want to hear what he's got to say. And he said, I want his salary doubled, and I want him to stay with me, and I want to hear everything he says, and I want him to work with me till we find a strategy that's going to defeat Foreman. And they worked on it, and they came up with the rope-a-dope strategy, and they changed the whole training structure. So they said, look, you're going to have to, to run that strategy perfectly, you're going to have to be able to get beaten up seriously for long periods of the fight, and you're going to have to improve your dodging and your swerving, and you're avoiding his punches, and you're going to have to come out in the first round and throw a fake by coming out going toe-to-toe, so you can execute that strategy perfectly. And they executed that strategy perfectly, and we know the history. But the thing was Ali's awareness to actually say, I want to hear that. I want to be able to step out myself. Ali was incredibly humble. I know a lot of people, we remember his sort of boasting and his personality. That was pretty much a front. But he was an incredibly humble person, and he had a lot of humility, and he listened to other people's views. And that was a great example of it. He listened to what someone else said. It's literally he froze himself. Let's step out. We need to win this. We need to be self-aware what I'm doing and how I'm being. And that's what traders need to do. They need to have that self-awareness. A lot of the coaching I do, I work with people, it's about raising their self-awareness. And once I go through that, we get these traders that suddenly, over the months, and even years we work with, they're coming, wow, I'm having my best ever year. I had a guy last year who's 52, another one in his 40s, had their best ever years trading. And it's just bringing that self-awareness. No one does that in trading. No one stops you and does what that guy did in the Ali fight.
Do you think, though, that, you nailed it for me there, 40 and 52. Do you think that it's very difficult for a young person is it something that you actually do as you get older, better? Do you stop and listen more easily as you're older?
Yeah. I think when you're young, you think you know it all.
Ali wasn't that young. Oh, he was in his 30s.
By then he was in his mid-30s. Yeah. It's very hard to tell a young guy you're doing it wrong, you know. But when they come to me, and listen, not everyone comes to coaching. A lot of people think they don't need to be told what to do. You know, that's what happens in trading a lot of the time. So I only work with people who want to come to me, and I say this to the companies I work with. It's got to be someone who wants to go through this process, who's willing to learn. Yes, they have to be willing to be like that. There has to be something about them.